Greetings. So long time no speak, it feels like. So this is going to be our future spouse Sundays. And this topic is going to be past lives. Okay. I've been kind of obsessed with the whole idea of that lately, like really been diving deep into it because I've been kind of like 50-50 about it. Maybe not 50-50, maybe like maybe 60% like believe in that. And then another part of me is kind of like, I don't know about that. I wrestle with it sometimes, but I just really been intrigued by past lives a lot lately to really hear other people's stories. And I've heard like reincarnation stories before, mainly a lot of children. Um, and some of them even like really prominent figures and events that they remember. A lot of people remember wars they've been in, and it's very interesting, and like places and buildings that they've lived. So I'm just so intrigued by all of that. Anyway, so this is going to be your topic of your future spouse, your past lives together. What were your past lives together? And I'm going to use this deck as our choices of cards. Okay. Now, you guys can take this as entertainment purposes. If this is not something that you resonate with or even believe in, why watch it? Um, save your drama for your mama. Don't drop nothing stupid in the comments. Like, be an adult. If you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Just move on, keep it to yourself, right? So put your energy towards something that is positive or something that you do believe in or resonate with. You know what I'm saying? Rather than starting some bullshit. Because you're not going to get any energy over here. It's just not going to work. So let's go ahead and see what... Oh, there we go. Is that 3, Spirit? Yes, it is. Okay, I see, Spirit. I see how you did that. I see that. It's like enough. Okay. Okay, so pile 1, your option is going to be the waning... I don't know how to pronounce that, but the waning moon phase, which is for releasing, observe revelations, ask for input, and evaluation. Okay. Pile 2, your option is going to be the crystal. Pile 3 is going to be love. Okay. Choose wisely, you guys. Don't use politics to figure this out, or discrimination. Just use your intuition. It's always best. Okay. I appreciate you guys. Before we get started, we're going to pray and meditate. If you need, pause the video. Give yourself time to think. Okay. Ooh, getting my cards ready, and I have butterfingers. Literally. Let me see. Okay. All right. Hopefully we've had enough time to pick our cards and choose. Again, pile number 1 is the waning moon phase. Pile number 2 is the crystal. And pile number 3 is love. Okay. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to know who your future spouse is yet to resonate with this reading. Maybe it's just simply you resonate with the past life energy, like the timelines and maybe who you were. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Greetings, pile number 1. You guys chose the waning moon phase, okay, for your pile. And we're going to tap in and see who your future spouse, the past lives that you guys shared. Maybe it's more than one. And by the way, if you guys skipped this in the beginning, I did mention you don't have to know who your future spouse is yet. You don't have to know of them at all for this to resonate. So some of the timelines and who you were in the past life may resonate with you. So that could be the confirmation, rather. Okay. So the waning moon in this deck represents clearing or cleansing and introspection. So maybe you guys are you've also been fascinated, and you've done past life regressions, maybe even some of you, whether professionally gotten it done or you've done it on your own personally in your own time, maybe through some sort of dream, or yeah, some of you guys may have reflected on this for yourself as well. Like you have your own um, opinions about past lives, or a knowing about your past life, or what you believe happened to you, or where you were, who you knew. If it's some people you know in this life, you feel like maybe they were a part of that. So also too, you guys could have had a past life in 1954, 1854, so on and so forth. 54 is on the number of this card. You could be the age of 54. You could have passed away at the age of 54 in one of your past lives. Or, I mean, I don't know if this is possible, but you could have had 54 lives. I also too have this theory, and I'm going to research this and see if anyone else has this theory as well, but that our past lives weren't always like human lives, or yeah, like we could have had past lives on other planets, or maybe as animals or something, you know what I'm saying? A tree, shit, I don't know. So let's go ahead, and because it's living things, so it's not too far fetched, All right, number 54. Let's go ahead and tap in. I'm gonna use a couple of past life. I have like a very old familiar one. I think this was a Dorian Virtue deck. And then this newer one, I think is, I cannot remember her name. Sandra Ann Taylor. I have a few of her decks. Okay. And then I'm going to use the Ancestral Tarot as well. So, all right. Let's start with the Oracle first, and then we'll kick it off with the Tarot at some point. So let's get started. Divine Source God, for collective of pile number one, whoever their future spouse is going to be, what are the past lives that these two share, or past life? If it's just one, that's fine. Or if it's past lives, who were they, to each other? If you can give me timelines, building, something significant. I pray for divine wisdom and discernment throughout this message, that we cast down any vain imaginations, false guidances, false insights, false revelations. We cast it down. And I ask to uphold only divine truth and divine wisdom. Any fears, any spirits of confusion, doubt, skepticism, that we cast it aside. We open our hearts to hear what it is, divine spirit, that you would like us to know. Okay? Now, I do get witchy vibes from this group, that some of you guys may have been a part of some type of spiritual group or religious group for some of you as well, or your person. Let's see, what are the energies hearing for? Halloween. There's something with Halloween that is also significant, or the month of October is significant to you. Doesn't necessarily have to be relative to your past life or past lives, but something with October, specifically, like I said, Halloween is significant to you. Okay, I heard three, so I'm going to pull three of those. So let's see what we got here. We have mother, scribe or writer, Egypt. Ooh, and health. Interesting. Okay. Community, servitude, and Archangel Zadkiel. Okay. So in this past life, one of you could have been a parent to the other, specifically um, a mother to two children. So one of you could have been the mother or one of the two children. So you guys were a part of a community, very close-knit community. I do feel like Egypt is the space. A scribe and a writer makes a lot of sense um, during that time or in this timeline that you were in, especially in Egypt. There was a lot of scribes. Okay. I do get that you wrote down, maybe kept record of things in history, and or your person kept record of things in history. Could also be spiritual things. Now, if you guys are into writing in this life, and or your person, or you are really good at poetry or writing stories or writing blogs, or really good at speaking, or you feel drawn to books, or you want to write your own book one day, or you love to journal, or you keep record of your dreams, or you're someone that keeps a record of history, or you're someone that may be well versed in history and um, different like social studies and things like that, this definitely could be a hint of your past life. Your health, you could have passed away due to poor health, or your person could have passed away due to poor health. I do see that you guys may have had another past life, or maybe I'm seeing at least maybe 3 past lives that you've had with this person. One, that you guys were definitely a part of a community, could have been the frontier. I don't know if that, I mean, I guess you could say that's a timeline in history, but very down to earth and very connected to the earth, much like these indigenous people in this community card here. So you guys could have been connected through a community where you guys work together. Um, I feel like one of you guys was an understudy of the other person, or you paid very close attention to like the things that they did, the things that they said. It's like you learned a lot from this person, and or they learned a lot from you. Very tight knit community, but I feel like for the most part, it was like a closeness. It may have not been always romantic. It feels like in the older past lives, you guys lived in like luxurious temples. So Egypt, or even Greece, something with the Roman Empire as well. I feel like a woman didn't always have yeah, it was like a servant. We couldn't do everything that the men could do. It's like um yeah, it was kind of like pedestal, like putting men on pedestals. Except for Egypt. Egypt was, women had prominent places in positions of authority in Egypt. You guys could have also been the same sex as well in another past life, and I feel like this is the one that you both may have passed away together. You guys could have been in a war together as 2 males, okay, where you guys were fighting for, I'm hearing the Cold War, where you guys could have fought in a war, in a battle together. One of you was definitely a mother, and some of you guys, this was like the 1920s or the 30s, where one of you was the other's parent, mother specifically, or you were the child of this person. And I always get like it's tracing back to a good, like someone that's a really good storyteller, someone that's a good writer, someone that likes to keep record, maybe even photo albums and things like that, like keeps old pictures and memories, family photos, school pictures, all those things. I'm going to ask, how does this past life affect you here in the now, or maybe your union, your relationship, your marriage? Let's see, how is it affecting you now? I'm going to ask that. How is this past life or lives affecting the viewer here in the now? How does it affect their partner here in the now? Whether they've met yet or not, doesn't matter. Spouse. How does this past life or lives affect them? Prince of Cups. We got Nine of Swords, Prince of Cups. I don't know if you guys can see all of the cards on the table. How does this, or how will this past life affect the viewer in their union or past lives? The Empress. Okay. And for the future spouse, how will this past life or past lives that they've shared together affect the union for them once in union? Two of Cups. Okay. And lastly, what can you learn? What can you learn? What can you learn from this past life or lives? The viewers, Divine Spirit, what can they learn? The Hermit. Okay. So, as far as the lesson is concerned with the Hermit, just looking at all of these cards, I do feel that there's something about needing to find one's voice, their power, knowing that their presence is important, that it's not all about maybe the man, or it's not always about everyone else and not about me, like I'm just this outcast, or I don't have, an important voice or an important position in this life, or I don't contribute to much, or I need to. It's kind of like a people pleaser energy that I do pick up from this. Kind of always watching everyone else do and kind of standing on the sidelines, maybe afraid to fully step into power. So there's this lesson, I feel like, learning maybe to soul search and soul seek out what your path, what your purpose is. Like, how do you contribute to this world? Or, your gifts, your talents, just your existence, why it's important, why it's beautiful. And it doesn't have to be that you have to be famous to get your point across, or be popular to get your point across, or to be someone, but just you showing up as your authentic self, and why that is to be valued, I feel like, is the lesson from these past lives or lives itself in some way. But how it's currently affecting you now with the Nine of Swords, I feel like kind of getting in your head sometimes, maybe diving a lot into fears, self-doubt, not trusting yourself, not trusting your intuition or your visions, or believing in yourself. Some sort, I'm hearing fear of change, fear of the unknown. You could be called to something greater, something higher at this point in your life, or to do more than what you've been doing, or calling you higher to level up in some kind of way. And it's scary. So your past lives, I feel like you might have been, back then, if you were born around, or you were a parent or a mother around, let's say, the 1920s or 30s, there wasn't a lot of freedom for women back then. A lot of them were housewives. A lot of them did not have jobs and careers and things like that. So there's something about breaking free. And the other cards, I feel like the woman here in this card, she's kind of watching these men build this boat. Kind of is doing her own little thing on the side, but she's watching. It's almost like she wants to participate, but I don't know if she's supposed to. It's like, that's not our job. That's not our place. Then this card, this woman is kneeling before this man. He could be a warrior. There's a definite correlation or connection to war as well around these times. So for your person, how this past life is affecting them is, I feel like this person has a warrior spirit, but they come from a pure place. This person may speak up about injustices. This person may be on the humanitarian side of things, where they don't like discord, they don't like separation, they don't like disharmony. They want balance in the world. They want happiness. They want people to get along. They could be into politics. They could be, they might know a lot about war. I don't feel like this person's not a fearful person. They're not a fear-based person. They're very confident in themselves. Um, they speak up. They speak their mind. They'll speak up for others as well. So that's how this past life affects them. Because, like I said, I feel they are connected, or you both are connected through some type of war, something with wars and battles. So, how will this past life or past lives affect you personally, you, during your union, your partnership, your connection? You have the Empress. I feel like this connection is going to, it's going to help you be more in tune with yourself, like permission, like going to empower you to stand in your power, to honor your position as an individual, as a person, and not feel small or left out or not good enough or I don't have a voice. It's like this, you're going to find your voice and find your position and placement in this connection. Yeah, I see you finding your place. And as for your person is going to feel that equal exchange. Someone that may love like they do, or love as hard as they do, or love in a compatible way, an equal way, a harmonious, balanced exchange in way. Like you get it. Also, too, like you guys may have like roles where one person, it feels like to me like it's not about gender roles so much, but it is like a respect of your femininity and their masculinity, or vice versa. It's a respect and an honoring of each other, and it's not diminishing the other while upholding the other. It's a harmonious balance of that. Okay. Because I do feel like in one of your past lives, you guys were companions, like maybe such as friends or war buddies. um there could have been a lot of like admiration. I don't feel like you guys were ever married in a past life. Maybe at the very most, maybe you guys had a sexual experience or two, or there was a lot of like kind of like an admiration and crushing, because I don't feel like you had that much freedom to choose who you wanted to be with, or if you were supposed to or had gotten married. Could have been something with religion. I'm getting spiritual faiths, so native, indigenous belief systems and customs. I just feel like there was an admiration, but not really too much of a union or a marriage between the two of you in a past life, other than companionship. Obviously, family. You guys may have been family in the past, mother and child. War, like I said, war buddies, and a part of the same community, small, organization or community of people. Okay, so pile number two, or one, sorry, that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sending you guys much love as always. Y'all be blessed, be safe, and take care. And until the next one. I'm sorry if anybody heard that. Ignorant people that I live with. Like, really? Probably not gonna be able to edit that out, but it's okay. If you heard them say that, I'm so sorry. Okay. All right. So pile two. Pile two, if you guys chose the crystal, this is your reading. Okay. So you guys could have a past life. Some of you maybe in the 70s, I want to say. You could have been a youngster in the 70s or the 60s. You could have been like 16 years old. Um, your person. I feel like you guys would be very intuitive people. Um, yeah, I feel like you guys are born around a time where the new age was really starting to pop off, and that was like around the mid 60s, I think, mid late 60s into the 70s, where there was a lot of talks around like astrology, yoga, like Hindu practices, um, a little bit of the occult was becoming more prominent in pop culture around that time. So, yeah, a lot of astrology based stuff, like in the music and on TV, there's a lot of witches and wizards and stuff like that, birthed around that time where it was kind of becoming like a norm. It wasn't so taboo. Although, yes, there was a lot of um, Christian backlash, like the Beatles, some of controversies around their comments that they've made and their practices and things like that. So these things were not that accepted, but it was becoming a part of pop culture. So I feel like you guys might have had past lives, especially if you're very young. Like, I don't want to say like too young. I hope no one that's too young is watching this, but let's say just that you wouldn't be born around that era. Like, let's say you were born in the 80s, right, or the 90s or the 2000s. Like, obviously you wouldn't be around this time, but if you resonate with this timeline that I'm talking about, like Woodstock era, I'm getting a lot of civil rights energy from this too. 70s, late 60s, because I'm getting a lot of Beatlemania. Like, I'm getting that era. Like, you could have been around for that or remember that era. Um, just like a lot of and then Funkadelic, there was like this galactic era too, like in R&B and funk culture. It was a lot of dressing up in space boots and suits and wearing crystals and stuff. I feel like that you were around that time, whether you were born or you spent your past life. That was the era that in which you and your person were from. So let's tap in. I'm gonna start with the oracle first. I'm hearing the number 5. So some of you guys could have been born in the 1950s, but you were a teenager around the 70s. Some of you guys could have died young, or your person died young. Strangely, I'm hearing at a concert, which is weird as fuck. That's crazy. Ooh, yeah, I feel that in my heart. Ooh, I don't want to say. Ooh, my God, I do not want to say what the fuck I just got from that. Oh my God, if you have, ooh, shit, if you have paranoia or phobia of crowds, or your person does, yeah, this has something that you are very connected to music, child. And maybe you were a musician. Maybe your person was a musician. Yes. Scribe or writer, songwriters, or you were very connected to music, lyrics. You have monk or nun. Okay, some of you guys may have had more than one past life. Some of you guys got stomped out. I hate to say that. Like, it could have been a stampede or something at a concert where your chest, like something with your heart, maybe you couldn't breathe, or it could have been a stampede where someone stepped on your chest or your back, or your person could have went through this, or you guys got into a fight at a concert and someone may have hurt you in the heart or something. Some of you guys could have um, got imprisoned and died in jail. But for some reason, this is connected to the concert, or it could just be like, this is definitely going to hit heavy if you guys hate small spaces. You do not like being in large crowds. You don't like to feel like crammed up. You don't like being in small, like, thick. So, like, being locked up in a jail cell, that would do that to you as well. So, god damn, yeah, this one is that started off fucking heavy. That I do see one other life here between the two of you, where because this could be more than one life, by the way. But you guys could have been nuns or monks. You guys could have known each other through a religious organization. Love life is here, so you guys could have been lovers in at least one of your past lives. Let's see, pile 2. That started off so heavy, child. We cast down all vain imagination, spirit. We ask only for divine truth and clarity. Energetic realm, live between lives. So you guys may have met each other through passing, not just in the physical world, but in the like spirit realm. You guys might have been with the light source God and like passed through. So I feel like you guys know each other deeper than just like lives, human lives that you lived. It could have been like in the spirit realm with the energetic realm, lives in between lives. Devotion, yeah. Spiritual practices, intuitive history. So yeah, you guys were both very intuitive people, and I feel like that could have manifested through other lives as well, including this one. You and your person could be intuitive people or very into a spiritual practice or religion or spiritualities or faiths, belief systems. Definitely the nun and the monk. Addictions, reactive behaviors, reclaiming your power. Yeah, I feel like there was a reckless time in one of your lives where you guys were definitely partners. I feel like you guys could have been teenagers, getting like 16, 17, or 18 years old. You guys could have been very reckless teenagers. You guys went to concerts, you went to bars, you did a lot. Could have been like a lot of drugs and alcohol. You guys just lived a rebellious life at this one point, and I feel one of you definitely died while having a good time, while out. And I want to say that it was the 70s. It was probably like 1969 or 1970 where one of you passed away and you were young. It was a very fast time, very fast life. You guys share similar hobbies to your past lives. You have those same passions and interests. You and this person, when you do a particular thing, like if you guys were to listen to music, you probably would have like a good time listening to music together, reminiscing, like, oh my God, this was such a cool era, even though you guys weren't born. From your knowledge or wisdom, you were not born in these eras. But for some reason, you resonate with them. And when you guys like sing these old songs, and for some reason, I'm getting like what was really popular, like what you can remember, something with the Beatles. Not the Beatlemania when they first came with that pop type sound, but more so when they got into like their 70s, like their psychedelic era. That, and I'm getting like Rolling Stones. I'm hearing Rolling Stones. I'm hearing like Earth, Wind, and Fire, Fly, and then I can't remember. I think it's Family Stone, Fly. I'm hearing those things, that era. You guys like that era. So when you talk about it together, you listen to it, it's like it takes you back, which it shouldn't because you weren't born then. So there's something also maybe with music. Some of you guys could play a guitar. Your person knows how to write music, write songs. Um, you guys share similarities. And it's so weird because another thing I'm getting to, because I'm seeing like two major past lives. Like the one that's most prominent is one where you lived in the 60s and the 70s as teenagers. But could have been a point where they recognized or you recognized them. One of you could have been like an older woman and a young boy, like of the same community or something, and like a babysitter vibe or like a town, like a maid type vibe that, you know, was good with children, or this one child was very fond of this woman. One of you could have been that to one another. So I do see you guys are part of an organization. I feel like you guys were lovers, and I feel like you guys were part of the same community. Yeah, someone could have like a drinking problem or gambling addiction that could come from past lives or has like spending habits. All right, so let's see this past life. How is it affecting you both individually? You don't have to know who your person is for this to be for you. If this just resonates for you just on its own and personally, then take it. But because this is your reading too. So let's tap in and see for you, how is this past life or lives currently affecting you, and vice versa for your person. So let's start off with your energy. There's you, there's them. When you guys come into union or in partnership, how will this past life or past lives affect your connection, your union, your marriage, your partnership? For them, how is it going to affect them? What is the lesson that you can learn or take from these past lives? Divine Spirit, what is the lesson? Thank you. Okay. I feel like this person, yeah, y'all know how to have a good time. Like, some of you guys may be a little more reclusive because of past connections. You may have a hard time with, you guys might have abandonment issues because if this person died, because I feel like whoever was the male was the one that passed away, tragically. Other lives, I'm getting sicknesses. It seems kind of like natural cause passings, but this past life in not that far in history. You guys could have been in London, I'm hearing. Some of you guys could have been in New York, California. Santa Monica stands out to me very specifically. Someone could have died at the Santa Monica Pier during a fight, like kind of like not gang rivalry, but yeah, I guess you could say that. Because one of you, whoever was the male in this past life that I keep picking up on, was very hot headed. A very hot headed person. Very, not afraid to fight, and I get like carrying knives and shit like that, and yeah, like a wise guy. I'm hearing like just talked a lot of shit and was like ready to fight all the time. Um, yeah, not a stranger to jail, but someone does have a fear of confined spaces. But at this time, for you specifically, how does this past life affect you with the Nine of Sacred Circles, which is like the Nine of Pentacles? I feel like you're more wiser in your decisions. I feel like your past lives, you were very, you're an old soul. Both of you are an old soul, but I feel like you might have been more, very much so devoted to your spirituality or your religion, your religious faiths. You were very dedicated to your position as a spiritual person. And so I feel like that still carries within you, where you make better choices or decisions. You're more discerning, more wiser. You might seek guidance from elders or people that you can trust. It's like you follow divine guidance. Um, Maybe due to being reckless in the past, and or because of your spiritual faiths and beliefs and practices. You were very connected and very in tune. Could have had a high position or a specific, in your spiritual community, you had a specific role or gift that you had. For your person, how this past life is affecting them presently with the Two of Wands is, I feel like this person could be searching or seeking something out. This person could live like a pretty stable life, and maybe sometimes it's kind of boring because I don't feel like their past lives, they may have not been the most financially well off. um they could have came from poverty or something like that, or just a time where they just didn't have a lot of luxuries, and in this lifetime they may have really good life. They don't have to be rich or anything like that, but they live a very comfortable life. And sometimes they feel like their life is too strict, it's boring, it's too straight arrowed, it's not a lot of excitement. And that could be the past life where this person, like I said, I feel like whoever they liked to, whether they were male in the past life and they are a woman in this life, it doesn't matter. I feel like that person's like, I miss it. I don't know. It's like they feel like something's missing. Like they might want more fun. They might feel like the antidote is let me travel, let me go places, let me do something different. Like they're bored. So when you guys come into your union, your partnership, how will this past life or lives affect your union? On your side of things, you have the Prince of Wands. You might be very stern. You might speak to this person's core. Like you might call this person out a lot, um, like to kind of get them to tap into their passion. Because as a messenger, I feel like you're the person that may like to write and scribe too. You could be really good with poetry. You may like to read, or you might like reading poetry. You're very good with your voice. You're very inspiring in that way with utilizing your voice. So I feel like your person might need some sort of guidance or direction, and you have the ability to do that and like speak to that inner self. Because I do feel like with the Four of Cups, how this connection is going, or this past life or lives are going to affect your person. You're going to call this person out if they are prone to escapism with alcohol, because I do pick that up, that this person has some type of escapism, that they is connected to one of the past lives. And I feel like you hold this person accountable and calling them out and making them see. And maybe this person has a hard time with accepting love. Some of you guys might, like I said, I'm picking up some abandonment issues. Like I don't want to get too attached or too connected. Or when it comes to this person, I don't want to get too attached to them because I don't want to lose them. And it's a fear, and the fear is coming from that past life where maybe this person passed away or they got locked up in jail or both. So the lesson with the Strength card is I get like you guys have this dynamic where one of you could have been more the responsible one, more of the level-headed one, the one that has to kind of snap the other person out, because one has this beast-like energy where they get a little too ahead of themselves, they do too much, they talk too much, they need to calm down sometimes. Like maybe one of you is like, you don't need to argue with that person. It's not worth it. Why are you arguing? Like, let's just go. And this person like, fuck that. I'm gonna say what I want to say, and I'm gonna do this. And it's like the other person has to calm them down. So in this life, it's like if this person has reckless behaviors, or just it could be like small things. Oh, I'm just having a drink. It's not that big of a deal. And it's like, okay, but that's like your fourth drink tonight. Let's calm down. Let's deal with the deeper issue. I feel like there's this you level each other out, you know, or one of the other has, not like you need to be a parent to the other person or vice versa, but it does feel like one person is always going to be that voice of reason to help this other person temper themselves and to see themselves and to make that conscious decision to change, to shift, you know, to do better. Okay. So that is the reading. That was an interesting one. That one was so vivid to me. Like I could see it, I could feel it so vividly. Okay, so pile number 2. That was your reading. I'm sending you guys much love. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Y'all be blessed, be safe, take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next reading. Peace. Okay. All right, so pile number 3. This is your reading. I have a feeling that a lot of you guys chose this pile. So let's go ahead and get into this. So you guys chose the love pile or the love card. The love card can definitely speak of a love that you're seeking because of a past life that you may have shared with this person, or yes, like some energy, someone set the tone for the type of love that they want to experience. Excuse me, maybe in every life or just like a particular lifetime. So you guys definitely had been together in a past life romantically, because not every pile had that energy. It was more so, I feel, a lot of associations and relations, and there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to have had a romantic past life with your person. It just, you know what I mean? You don't have to know who your person is yet for this to resonate, because some of these things will resonate with you personally, because you'll know, like, yeah, that's something I resonate with, or I felt like I was there in this time, and blah blah blah. So let's go ahead and get into the reading. But I'm trying to find the love card in this deck represents the fundamental compatibility, physical, rational, and emotional connection, and life force. Okay, let's see. Tap into your past lives. Who were you? Where were you guys during this time? You and this person, you could feel like you guys are very much alike. You have a lot in common. That you guys were maybe even children, because I'm getting the movie My Girl. Like it was like a cute, innocent love, like, but it was also like, I believe that if they would have grown up a little bit more, they probably would have dated. You know, if they were like, you know, if Macaulay Culkin's character didn't pass away when he did, if he would have grown up to be a teenager, then most likely they would have dated. You know, those two characters, but. So that could be, I could resonate with you. One of you guys could have fallen ill or sick. I feel like you guys were little kids in a past life. You knew this person as a child and vice versa. Let's see. Past lives. Knighthood, Egypt, vows, lessons and blessings. Okay. So you guys could have come from medieval times, Egyptian, like the ancient Kemet era. You guys could have also been siblings, twins, like a boy girl twin, or two boy twins, or two girl twins. Um, I feel like you guys were siblings for sure in a past life. There's something that you guys may come back as like the same, not the same person, but come back with a similar energy or dynamic until you guys get it right. I don't know what that is, but it's like you guys either reincarnate as siblings time and time again, or like we're two best friends, maybe lovers. I feel like you guys may have been shipped away or married off. So you guys could have been two girls that had got married off to men. Maybe you guys were like best friends or something, or you guys were a part of the same village or community, and you guys got taken or shipped away to get married or something, like young brides, like child teen. Yeah, that's crazy. Let's see what else, Spirit. You guys are very close, but there's something about being separated time and time again, but I'm not getting why. Let me see, Spirit. Can you give me more context into? Yeah, you guys might have fond memories of this person. You guys may feel like you just can't find people that you really resonate. Yeah, abandonment. Like self-doubt. Yeah, these are the things that you guys have to learn from, because I feel every life with this person, because you may have had a few, something happens to you too. You guys may have 4 major past lives together, because the number 4 came out with your love card. I can pick it up. Number 4, and then 4 with abandonment, feelings of unworthiness, rejection. This could manifest in your connections where you don't feel like y'all are supposed to, like, it feels lonely. Like y'all feel alone or something. So when this person, maybe you haven't met them yet, you could be single watching this and like, where the fuck is my person? Because I feel like y'all were very close in every past life. Friends, siblings, partners, romantic partners, but mainly I feel like it was very like platonic, close bonds. So especially if you guys were um, twin siblings, you guys have that. We were born in the womb together, so we're inseparable. So when you're going through this life looking for friendships and like that, or looking for unions, maybe you were born in this lifetime as the only child. Maybe you were born into a family that has a lot of trauma and you guys don't really get along, or every partner you date or meet, they just kind of fall away, or if something bad happens to them, or friendships, or you lose people. And it triggers this in every lifetime. And I feel like what spirit is trying to teach you um, is feelings of self-worth. Like you have to learn your value, like something about attachment. There's nothing wrong with desiring partnership and friendship, family dynamics, healthy connections in that sense. But it's a lesson and a blessing. It's like, look at the beauty that you can have deep bonds and deep connections, but the holding on to the pain and the sorrow, and maybe it's been kind of manifesting through your feelings of abandonment, or you feel unworthy, or like you blame yourself for what has happened in your past lives. Like, it's my fault, or if we weren't playing outside that day, they would have never got sick, or if we would have just stayed with our parents and we didn't go out, we would have never got captured. Or it's like something where you blame yourself for everything that has happened. So when it comes to getting to know people, you kind of isolate, you kind of close off. Um, you feel like an outcast sometimes. You don't feel like you're good enough in your family dynamics. Maybe, because this is what I'm getting. One of your past lives, if one of the siblings or something, or whoever the partner in crime was on the other side for you, like with you, it could have been like people blamed you for something. Like if it was your sibling in a past life, and let's say you guys were playing outside and they fell out of a tree and bumped their head, and it resulted to them passing away or something. The parents may have blamed you for it, or the town could have like looked at you in a bad light or something. Like, mm, wow. All right, let's pull some tarot, because that's a lot right there, just alone. Because I wanted to ask, like, what is the lesson? But I kind of feel like I've gotten it, but I'm gonna still pull the tarot. So the first question we're gonna ask is, how is this past life affecting you here in the now? You first, and then we'll ask about your person. And again, you don't have to know who your person is, okay? Yet. We have the Prince of Sacred Circles. Okay, so for your person, how is this past life or past lives affecting them here in the now? How is it affecting their life here in the now? Wow, they have 2 cards, 5 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, or Sacred Circles. Okay, so in your union, for you, how will this past life or past lives affect your union, your partnership, your marriage? 3 of Wands. How will it affect them? The Magician. And the lesson. What is the lesson, or how can pile 3, the collective pile 3, apply the lessons from their past lives with their future spouse? Justice. Interesting. Okay, so for you, the Prince of Sacred Circles. So this would be like the Knight of Pentacles. So how it affects you, I feel like you might be very careful. You don't push yourself too much out of comfort zone. I feel like when it comes to building connections with people, you're very careful about that. You have to feel like it's worth the effort, and I feel like it's that fear, that inherent fear of losing someone. I want to see what this card means specifically. Let's see, 9 circles. Okay, no, sorry, Prince. So this is the father son in this deck. It says learning experiences, reverence for the growth process process made possible through the union of the sun and the earth, can represent one's genetic father or a fatherly role model, a tutor, a teacher, or a mentor who shares knowledge and wisdom, one who nurtures the young, helping to develop newly planted ideas and concepts. So you could also, as a parent, because if you in the past life felt like you failed your parents in the past, this is you wanting to maybe steward and teach your children, values that you weren't taught. And I just get like you're someone that's very careful and very practical about your pursuits and your connections with others due to this past life or past lives. For your person, you have the Five of Cups and you have the Four of the Sacred Circles, which is like the Four of Pentacles. So you guys definitely were related in a past life for sure with these circles. They almost look like the same people. Um, this person currently could go through a lot of series of depression where they could have people that don't understand why they're unhappy sometimes. Like this person could have, a pretty decent life, or they feel like, life's not treating you too badly. Why are you always depressed? Why do you always feel lonely? Why don't you want to go out with us? Why don't you want to hang out? It's like this person is trying to conjure something up. They may be searching for that union that you guys had in the past life too. They're always seeking that. Let's see, for the home environment, a basis of life for life experiences, creating harmony in one's work, home or work environment, setting things in motion, following through preparation, the beginning phase of a task or project. This person also, yeah, I feel like they could throw themselves into work. They're a homebody. They don't like to go out too much. This person does have series of loneliness and depression, but again, it's like, but why? You have people. This looks like a king, so it's like, why are you depressed? You're a king. Like you got your shit in order. So when it comes to your union, when you guys come into union, how will these past lives affect you? You have the Three of Wands. I see you guys being able to move past it. Once you guys come into union, you guys may work through these traumas together because, in a sense, I don't want to put that responsibility on this person for you, and the responsibility of this person onto you and vice versa. I'm kind of getting, though, this is just what I'm picking up. I feel that's going to alleviate like all the traumas, the fears, because it's connected to your past lives. Um, it's like, yeah, because this means the Three of Wands means successful conclusion of a journey or project, leaping back into the mainstream of activity, following a period of withdrawal or inactivity, inheritance, passing over wealth or wisdom to the next generation. You guys are going to heal this because this could be something that plays out as like trauma experiences throughout your life. And you may not understand it. Even your parental figures in your life could kind of have like a similar dynamic to your past lives where maybe they blame you or they don't have patience for you or with you, or they expect a lot out of you. You have to be a certain way. It's a lot. Okay. So the magician card represents how will your person be affected by the past life within your union. So I feel like this person is going to use everything within them to shift and heal, to transmute, to purify the kinks, the traumas, the pain, in this life. But their higher self is like also assisting and helping with the past lives, like purifying like every timeline and clearing out all of this. This is a very powerful creative essence and energy. So in some way, like your partner may do this through love languages. They could do it through um certain life choices and decisions that they'll make when they come into union with you. But it's the basis of this is devotion and dedication and belief in not just themselves or God or source or the universe, but belief in you as well, belief in your union, your connection. So the magician in this deck represents a male active force, creativity, spontaneity, practical skill, inventiveness, self-reliance, willpower, self-confidence, the ability to imagine, create, and see ideas through to completion, the art of persuasion or the ability to influence others. Can also represent the use of power for negative purposes, power over rather than empowering others. I'm not seeing that. I feel like this person is going to use this power for the better for you both, for your union. This person may go to therapy or suggest that you guys get healing, or I feel like they're going to be active in this. Okay. So the lesson that you can take from this with the Justice card, I feel like Spirit wants you to make better decisions in this life and not fear, not hold yourself to being right or being wrong or your failure. Like learn from every experience and be more discerning, more wiser with your choices maybe in the past. And as a child, if you were making these decisions as children, you have to remember you were young, you didn't know any better. And so if you can apply that in this life as an adult and say, every experience that's new is kind of like being like a child because I don't know really what I'm getting into. I can only go off of what I feel and maybe previous knowledge and wisdom of past life experiences, or maybe things I can learn from others around me. But if this is like new things and I'm leaping into a new connection, I don't know. And it's okay. And there's no such thing of being a failure. Okay. Only lessons. So justice, it says, getting to the heart of an issue through judicious, considered evaluation. Advocating, hold on, sorry, gotta turn the page. Advocating for causes rather than socially popular causes can also mean unfairness, bias, imbalance, discrimination, rewards meted out to the undeserving. The legal system, rather than justice, is served. The scales are tipped through bribery or corruption, robbing the poor to give to the rich. So it's I don't feel like it's that literal, but if you can put it in what resonates with your situation, like you can be very unfair and unjust to yourself, paying or you are crucifying yourself for things that have happened to you in your past lives or even in this past or in this life. Things that you've done in your adolescence or in your unknowingness or ignorance or as a child, and maybe people blamed you or didn't handle you, in a just, honorable, loving way. Maybe you've always felt unlucky. So the lesson from this, I feel like, again, is to not judge yourself against harsh criticisms and punishments on yourself, or feeling like everything that you've done, every so-called mistake that you've made or what you perceive to be a failure as like something that you deserve punishment for. It's for you to learn your lesson. You know what I mean? Yes, there is a cause. There is a cause and effect in every action that we take. And some actions, like I said, we need to learn because we don't know any better, or we only knew what we knew enough at the time. So look at these things from a perspective of a blessing within a lesson. A lesson within a blessing. Okay. So I hope this resonates. This was helpful. I'm sending you guys much love as always. I know this one was a little heavy. It's not the most romantic, but I felt guided to do this. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Show some love to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Until the next one, peace.